On this episode of Camp Outside, we do a review of the campground at Punderson State Park in Newbury, Ohio. Check it out. Hey guys, I'm Kevin with Camp Outside, your inside source for all things outside. We're at Punderson State Park in Newbury, Ohio, and we're going to do a campground review today. We've had a great time camping at Punderson State Park as part of our 2023 summer trip. If you want to check out our camping video from this park, I'm going to put a link right up here where you can check that out. Otherwise, let's get right into the review. Punderson State Park is located in Newbury, Ohio, and it's just east of Cleveland. It's easily accessible by Toledo, Columbus, or Pittsburgh, and it's very close to Lake Erie. Punderson State Park is a pretty large state park with lots to see and do. There are lots of trails for hiking. There's some stuff for winter, like a ski chalet and a sledding hill. Here's the campground itself. The campground is also quite large, and it's located between a couple of lakes and is right on Punderson Lake. We'll also take a look at the campground map. Here's a look at the campground map, and as you can see, it is quite a big campground. The first thing we're going to take a look at is the check-in station. So the check-in station is indicated by the red arrow, and it's also where the nature center is and the playground. Let's go take a look. So here's the check-in station, and it doubles as a little camp store. They've got some camping essentials and then also some park stuff like stickers and apparel and things for sale. And that's also where you get your ice or firewood. Here's a look inside. The park has a nice playground. It's got some basketball hoops and then a playground area with swings and slides and stuff. I'll turn the camera around, you can check that out. So here's the basketball area. And then there's the swings and the playground. And that's the nature center in the background. We're going to be there next. And here's a look at the playground. Pretty nice. And then picnic benches for the parents to sit at and watch their kids play. And let's hit that nature center. So here is the nature center.
Can you see the boat, or is it too far?
No, it's too far down. It's like down 30 feet of water, and I think it's about maybe, I'm not sure how far out it is. I got a map upstairs where somebody marked where they thought it was.
The amphitheater follows a path not too far from the check-in station. It's indicated by the red arrow. Let's go check it out. So this park has a really nice amphitheater, and I have been told that I missed a cast iron cooking demonstration by the park naturalists. So I'm bummed that I missed that. I would have liked to have seen that, but they do different things here. Or if you have scouts or things like that, you can do a presentation in the amphitheater. I'm going to turn the camera around so you can see it. So lots of bench seating, amphitheater style. You could set a projector on that little stone podium there. And then here's the stage. And even a screen to project stuff on. And then also, guys, they have a big fire pit for if it's cold weather while you're doing your program. Pretty nice. There's a fishing dock and a paddlecraft launch right in the campground. Let's go take a look. It's indicated by the red arrow. So just down from the check-in station is the paddlecraft launch area. You can bring your own, or they have canoes and kayaks for rent. There's a whole bunch of them. Here's another look. A couple of canoes. And here's a nice bench area to just sit by the lake if you want. Now this lake is electric motor only, so you can't have gasoline powered engines, but as you can see from that boat right there, they're running around on their trolling motor with the engine up. So if you have a boat with a trolling motor, you can put it in at the ramp and do some fishing. Those guys just caught a fish. That was the swimming beach, and then there's the manor across the way. Beautiful Lake Punderson. So one of the things that I wanted to mention before I get really into the meat of the amenities at this campground is that this campground is really old. It was set up, I believe, in the 1950s, according to the check-in ranger. And she said this campground is really old. And so it is lacking on some of the stuff that you might otherwise want. So for instance, many of the sites are 20 amp only sites. They're paved, which you can see behind me, but they're not level. Typically they're sinking one way or the other. Now, this isn't true for every site, guys. Most of them you're gonna have to do some leveling work. And off the driveway itself is not level in most cases. So if you have a really, really big tent, like one of those cabin style tents with multiple rooms and stuff like that, you're really gonna wanna pay attention when you're booking sites, because finding a flat spot that isn't a low spot is hard in a lot of these campsites. And so you're either going to be in a tent that's on an angle, or you're gonna be in a tent that's in a low spot. And in this site specifically, we're on site 76 here, which is right next to my site. But that space right down here where my hand is, all of that is still wet, and it hasn't rained in 2 or 3 days. So it's really wet, really muddy down there. So yeah, it's kind of more flat and nice for pitching a tent, but it's a low spot. It's holding water. It's actually holding puddles. So if you had this site and you had a large tent to pitch on this site, you would either be on a hill or you'd be in a puddle. So I want you to keep that in mind when you're booking sites here. If you're looking for sites with tents, you're definitely going to want to pay attention to those photos. Make sure that you get a site that is level and meets your needs. The other thing I want to mention about these sites, guys, is, as I said, these are 20 amp. They're doing a electric upgrade in the campground. So there are some 50 amp sites available, and their plan is to do 50 amp across the entire campground. That isn't complete yet. Probably won't be complete anytime soon, maybe for next year. They'll have that. But if you need 50 amp, you're definitely going to want to reserve early so that you can get those 50 amp sites. Otherwise, you're going to be on a 20 amp site. I have another site I want to show you that's representative of some of the other sites in this park. Let's go take a look. So believe it or not, I'm standing in the parking for site 73. There are many sites in this campground where you parallel park on the road and then you climb up a hill to go into the site itself. This is great for tent campers, but some of these hills are pretty steep to get in. There is a 20 amp box there so that you can run an extension cord up into your site to have power. I should mention too, guys, that most of these sites that are 20 amp sites don't have water or sewer. Again, my understanding is that water is going to be added to all the sites in addition to 50 amp, and that some of the sites are going to get sewer hookups. But at least in this site, you have electric only. Let's walk up the hill and show you the inside of this site. So as we walk up this hill, you can imagine what this is like when it's really rainy. You can see that they've dug out some steps, but they're just dirt. And as I walk in, here's the campsite. So you got a picnic table, a fire pit with grill grate, and some areas among the trees to pitch a tent or hang a hammock. So if you like these kinds of sites, they're really nice because they're in the shade, they're a little private, at least it kind of feels that way. Although some of them are right next to each other. So if you have other people camping up here, you're gonna be able to see their site and they're gonna be able to see you. But it is kind of nice. Now for us, because we tent camp in a canvas tent, I do not want to hike that thing up a hill. So just something to keep in mind, but there are a lot of sites like this in Punderson State Park. Guys, I wanted to show you some of the sites to give you a feeling of what it's like. Again, there are some RV sites with 50 amps, water and sewer hookups. And again, there's a dump station in this campground so that you can use that. But most of them, 20 amp hookups, and some of them, you gotta hike uphill to get into your site. Let's go take a look at the restrooms in the park. There are two types of restroom facilities in this campground. There are shower houses and restrooms. Shower houses have running water, hot showers, and flush toilets, while the restrooms just have running water and flush toilets. Let's take a look first at a shower house. So here's a look at the shower house that was closest to our campsite. So I'm going to head into the men's restroom. Sorry, ladies, I do not go into the women's restroom. I don't want to hear screaming. So you are on your own. But I imagine it's pretty close. So there's a diaper changing station on the wall, trash cans, and then, of course, since it's a men's restroom, we've got some urinals, and then standard toilet stalls. As you can see, this restroom is quite old. Here is the handicap stall. So while these restrooms are older, they're still pretty clean, pretty well taken care of. Here's the shower area. So you can see shower curtains kind of on lines, and then there's the handicap shower stall, and then some more standard shower stalls. The water was warm. We had no problems having hot water, so nice places to take a shower, and they were relatively large, so not bad. In terms of being outdated, sure, they could be renovated, but all in all, they weren't too bad. As we make our way out of the shower area, there's another look at the handicap shower stall. You can see there's also sinks and mirrors towards the end as I make my way out. Next to the shower building is, and actually in the shower building is a laundry area. So you can see coin operated washers and dryers, and then a bench to be able to fold laundry. You know, pretty standard in a lot of campgrounds are coin operated washers and dryers. So that's a shower house. Let's take a look at a just regular restroom. So men and women's restroom. Again, we'll go into the men's side. Again, these buildings are quite old, but they were nice and clean. So there we have sinks, we have a urinal, and then some regular bathroom stalls. So one was a standard stall, and then the other one was a handicap stall. So really nice bathrooms, even though they were pretty old. The last thing I want to show you is there were a number of these around the campground, and these are for gray water disposal. So whether you're tent camping or if you have other like jugs of gray water, you can dump them in these receptacles. Let's go take a driving tour. We're going to start our drive with the entrance to the campground road, and then we're going to follow the path with the red arrows through the first set of campsites. So as we come in, you can see this park is beautiful with rolling hills and nice trees. It's a two-lane road, and it's relatively narrow, but you shouldn't have a problem even if you're rolling in with a large travel trailer or a big RV. And that's Lake Punderson off to the right. And off in the distance there through the trees, you can see the swimming beach. You'll drive by the boat ramp on this road to the campground. So if you've brought a boat, that's where you'll go launch the boat. And you can launch paddlecraft by the shore anywhere or at the fishing dock in the campground. We saw lots of wildlife on this roadway while we were there. Turtles crossing the road, deer, other things. So just keep that in mind. Obey your park speed limits and make sure you're watching out for wildlife. Okay, you can see the parking lot there. That's the parking lot for the check-in station, and then there's the check-in station on the left. On the right there, that little building is firewood storage, so that's where you'll pick up your firewood if you pay for it inside. We've already checked in, so they'll wave us on through. And we're going to turn right here. To the left there, up the hill, is the amphitheater. And we're going to start passing campsites. So that is campsite number 1 there on the left. And then campsite number 2. There's a restroom there. That van is parked there. I think they were cleaning the restroom. So that's one of the regular restrooms. And we're passing campsite 3 on the right. And as you can see, traffic travels in both directions on this road. So you've got to watch out for traffic, and you've got to watch out for kids on bicycles and all kinds of things. So as we come down through here, this section of the campground is campsites 3 through 13. Odds on the left for the most part, and then evens on the right. We're going to hang right here. Off to the left there is a shower house, and we're passing site 14 on the left and 15 and 16 on the right. There's a dumpster for trash. The sites on the right here have full hookups, so it's a full hookup site, and they're right on Lake Punderson, so really, really nice. And then we're getting into your standard sites that don't have anything more than 20 amp service. We're going to turn left here, and along this road is campsites 27 to site 50. There's another restroom there, and then that bin there is a gray water disposal. So I think that's site 40 on the right there. And then we should be passing site 45 to the left. And then that one on the left is site 47. 49 and 50 are straight and up on the right. That's a water treatment plant in front, and then right there is a restroom facility. And we're turning left on here, where we'll go from sites 51 to 67. So 54, 56, 58, 60, 62, and 64 are primitive sites. And they're the sites where you park parallel along the road and then hike into the woods. On the left here, we're passing sites 51, 53, 55, 57, 59, 61, 63, 65, and 67. Okay, we're going to turn right and follow the path with the red arrows up into the next section of the campground. So as we turn right here, we're going to pass sites 68 through 90. So again, on the right here are the primitive sites where you parallel park to the road and walk up the hill. There we are passing our site there with our Kodiak canvas tent and the cargo camper on the left. Passing site 80 on the left there, and another gray water disposal bin. And then if we hung a left right there, that would take us into the dump station. I'll show you the dump station in a little bit. We're going to continue on straight. Another gray water disposal site on the right, and then a restroom facility on the right. It's not a shower house, just a bathroom. We're going to turn right here, We're going to pass site 92 and 94 on the right, and then 96, and then on the left there is 95 and 97. I'm going to wind our way up the hill here. This is quite a large campsite, and it is a little spread out, so we're going to turn right again. We're passing site 98 on the right there, and 99 was on the left. There's a dumpster off to the left. And we're going to climb this hill. So we're in what they call campsite area 2. And then up those steps there is a restroom. And on the left, you can see there's a bunch of parking. On the left is group camp site 3, and then that's site 120 there on the left. So there are some group campsites in the campground. That one you have to walk down a hill to, and it's a big open area where you can have group camping. Now we're coming into some more primitive sites. These are sites 124, 126, 128, 130, and 132. They're off to the right, parallel park to the road, and then hike into your site. And as we approach this loop, you're going to see sites 134 through, I think, 155 is the total. So we're going to go around this loop with the water tower. So I think we just passed 155 there on the left. But there are a number of sites inside the loop surrounding the water tower, and then some sites obviously on the outside. There's a shower house up here, as well as drinking water fill, as well as some gray wastewater disposal areas. And of course a trash receptacle. Some extra parking for the shower house. Okay, we're going to continue on, and we're going to follow the path with the red arrows. We're going to go back down the hill and then up into another section of the campground. So here we go back down the hill. So we're passing 137 and 135 on the right, and then site 134 on the left. And then there are those primitive sites again, which are 124 to 132. Passing site 120 again to the right. And there are two sites there, but only one of them is listed on the map. So there you can see the group camp down the hill there. If you could see, there's a fire pit and a picnic table down there. Of course, you have to climb the hill and then go across the street up those steps to the restroom. Make our way down this long hill. And then at the stop sign, we're going to turn right. So there's a restroom facility there right next to sites 156. Passing 157 and 158. We're going to hang a right here. And so that's 159 on the left and 160 on the right, and it's going to go all the way up to 190. So there's another shower house on the left. After the shower house on the left there is site 169. And then we're going to pass a couple of primitive sites. That's 175 and 177 off to the left. So as you can see, all of these pads are not level. So keep that in mind. They're either sloping down or sloping up, depending. So you're going to have to do some work to level your RV or travel trailer. Then we're passing a restroom facility as we enter into this loop. So that's site 185 to the right there. 186, 187, and then at the top of the loop is 188. When we come around, we're going to pass 189 and 190. Okay, and then we're going to follow the path back down the hill, passing the sites that we just went through. We're going to hit that little loop that we missed and continue to follow the path with the red arrow. Okay, so passing the restroom on the left, and that's site 183 and 181 on the right, passing 184 on the left. Then those primitive sites again, 177 and 175 off to the right. There's a water fill and faucet on the left there. There's no water hookups in the majority of this campground. There are some full hookup sites, but for the most part, there's no water hookups in most of these sites. So you're going to have to use a water fill station. Passing the shower house again and the dumpster. So where that classic RV is, that's site 165. As we continue to head down the hill. Okay, so we're going to enter into this little loop, which will cover sites 191 through 201. So that should be 191 to the left and 192 to the right. And we make our way around, 194 to the right, and 195 to the right. I'm sorry, 196 to the right, 195 to the left. That should be 198 to the right there. And inside the loop, you can't really see it, is site 199. And then there is 200 and 201. So that's 200 there with a red car. And then 201 with the white truck. Restroom straight ahead. And then we're going to head down the hill some more. That's 190, or just 97 to the right, 95 to the right, 96 to the left, 94 to the left, and 92. Passing a restroom. And if I went straight, that would take us out of the campground. I'm going to turn left though and head into the dump station so you can see. There's 2 lanes for a dump station. I'm I'm going to hang right here and continue to head. It is mostly down a hill, even though it's a little uphill at first. So we're passing 88 on the left. And then again, all of these sites are 20 amp only. Primitive sites to the left where you hike into the hills, and then standard sites to the right. Okay, now that we've got to the bottom of this hill, we're going to go around the loop one more time. We're going to go in the opposite direction so you can see maybe what you missed go in the other direction. And then we'll make our way out of the campground. I'm going to follow the path with the red arrows. So we hang a left. So that should be site 67 on the right, and then 65. And then passing 64, 62, 60, 58, 56, and 54, which are all the primitive sites on the left. There's the restroom to the left. Sites 49 and 50 off to the left there. As we make our way around, that should be site 40 there to the left. Passing a restroom off to the right there. Just past the restroom is site 31 on the right, and 29 to the right, and 27. And passing 26 to the left, and then 25. 24 is off to the right, and then 22 there to the right. And then there's the shower house. The sites to the left here across from the shower house, and then on each side of the shower house are full hookup sites. So keep that in mind. And then the sites on the left there have a great view of Lake Punderson. Definitely high quality sites to get. Okay, so all the sites along this road here, we're going sites 13 to site 1. All of these are full hookup sites currently. As I mentioned earlier in the video, there are plans to upgrade this campground to, I think, 30-50 amp service and water hookups at every site. Some will also have sewer hookups. So it's a major modification improvement plan for this campground. I don't know when it'll be implemented, so depending on when you watch this, some of that information might be outdated. Okay, we're passing sites 2 and 1 on the right. And so off to the left is the main parking lot for the check-in station. That barn-looking building is the nature center. We're going to cross the road. There's the playground and the basketball courts. And we're going to turn left to head out of the campground. Straight ahead there is the kayak launch and fishing pier. And that's a drive-in tour. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed that review of the campground at Punderson State Park. I really enjoyed this park, and I really enjoyed camping here. Yes, I think that the amenities could be upgraded just a little bit, but the park is working on that. But I also like its old-time feel. I think that too many state parks are catering to large RVs with multiple AC units, and they're really leaving out the small-time tent campers and small travel trailer guys that, you know, like a more private feel, like a more rustic feel to cater to large RVers. So I really hope that as Punderson does the upgrades, that they don't lose the feel that they have in this campground. That's just my take. Guys, Camp Outside exists to help moms and dads get their kids outside camping, hiking, fishing, learn about nature, and develop a conservation ethic. We want to help you get you and your kids outside. So if you have any questions about camping at Punderson State Park, we'd love to hear from you. Drop something in the comments below. Hit me up on my social media at Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, and Twitter, or my website at campoutside.com. Guys, if you like the video, give me a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button and that little bell icon that notifies you when we release new videos. We'll see you next time.